We're effing working here, or at least we're pretending to. Superlatives time, week 13. Go.
Kenny Pickett and the Steelers offense, speaking of Mike Tomlin, they're picking it up.
I see what you did. Crafty.
Yeah, I know. I'm not funny. Sometimes I need to remember that. But yeah, look, thanks. They are playing better football, right? And I think that the Steelers are kind of turning into one of those teams that you don't really want to see down the stretch. They're going to play the Baltimore Ravens next week, and we don't necessarily know what's going to be happening with Lamar Jackson. And if Kenny Pickett is making throws like this, like he did to Connor Hayward yesterday, then we're going to see the Steelers look more like the Steelers we're used to, where they're playing hard-nosed defense. They're getting the plays that they need to. Kenny Pickett continues to make the progressions. Mike Tomlin says, I say it every week. You guys keep asking me, but he's getting better in all areas. I think we're seeing that. The offense looks more fluid. If that keeps happening, then maybe the Steelers aren't going to finish with a losing record for the first time under Mike Tomlin.
Amazing to think that they are potentially in position to get to 9-8, and who knows what's going to happen in the AFC. It's a tough road, but you get a little more clarity with each passing week. Maybe the Chargers are going to fall out. Maybe the Patriots are going to fall out. Maybe there's an opening there for the Steelers if they can keep winning to climb into the 7th spot like they did last. Like they're leaving for dead, and they just kind of find a way when no one's really paying attention. Look how it falls for them this week. They get the Ravens in Pittsburgh, and the Ravens may not have Lamar Jackson. And you can pick up a victory that way. Even if they have Lamar Jackson, the Steelers are good enough in that rivalry to win those games. They can just keep checking them off. And that intensity from Mike Tomlin, he's locked in. He's in stretch run mode. He's been there before. He's done it before. And he's got this team pointed in the right direction. They get that win, and they continue to roll forward. So, and to me, I loved being able to watch Kenny Pickett do his thing last Monday night, standalone game. He impressed me with the 2-point conversion where he kind of sprinted to the right, fired the just perfect needle threader to George Pickens to get, it's just, not a huge play in the grand scheme of things, but it just tells you this guy gets it. He's here. And no matter how this year goes, everything next year is going to be in a better position for the Steelers because he will be better equipped and better prepared to have a great year. All right. They didn't get the memo. And you'll hear that cliche from time to time. Oh, sorry, I didn't get the memo, right? And it's kind of, as an excuse for whatever. Well, we got the same shirt on. Oh, I didn't get the memo. All right. The Bengals clearly didn't get the memo because a memo went out Friday. I caught wind of this just before the show last night, and we had so many moving parts we couldn't get it into the broadcast. But the NFL has warned all teams about faking injuries. No more of this. And we're going to punish everyone. The team, the coach, the player. Suspensions are on the table for the player. Loss of draft picks. That's the way to get the attention of the NFL's teams. That's on the table. That said, and look, you got some layers and levels, I guess, it's got to jump through between Friday and Sunday. Maybe that's not enough time to get the message because look at this one from the Chiefs-Bengals game. This is amazing to me. Jesse Bates, see, he sees what's happening. A couple of guys coming in late, and what is that? Down goes Jesse Bates. Oh, my hamstring. Oh, my arm. It's broken. And he just walks off the field, and he's perfectly fine. That's going to be a problem for the Bengals. And my understanding, Myles, is there are multiple cases on appeal already involving punishments imposed for fake injuries. Well, Jesse Bates is going to be added to the list. And they've made it clear they'll investigate, they'll talk to people. And I don't know. Are you going to get folks to break ranks and say, yeah, they told me to do it or whatever? I don't know. But the NFL is pissed about it, and they have to be upset about this one from yesterday. And it's entirely possible. I don't know what point in the game that was because this memo just kind of landed in my inbox out of the blue yesterday in the hour before we started Football Night in America. Maybe somebody at the league office saw that and said, we just sent this damn memo out on Friday, and look at this crap that they're trying to pull. So it'll be interesting to see because I get the feeling it's going to hit the fan this week. We're going to hear about some specific people who have been punished for faking injuries. And, it's been around football forever. I remember when I played in grade school, two guys fell down on the ground grabbing their knee, and they looked at each other, and one of them jumped up and was fine. So it's a way to, manage the clock and take the steam out of an offense, do whatever you need to do, get a free timeout. But yeah, the NFL's not happy, and it can't be happy after seeing the Jesse Bates thing, Myles.
Yeah, the Bates one is particularly bad. But I mean, you're talking about going all the way back to grade school. I'm surprised you remember that, man. That was a long time ago for you.
Now listen, you're supposed to respect your elders.
Occasionally I do, occasionally I don't. All right, let's go to the next one. For me, for superlatives, barbecue chicken, because Keenan Allen was mentioning that about the Raiders secondary, but lo and behold, it actually was Devontae Adams who turned the Los Angeles Chargers secondary into barbecue chicken, because he had 8 catches, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. This one, which was absolutely brilliant, 31-yarder. Then on the next drive, a 45-yard touchdown off of a flea flicker. This is a great one. 71% of Derek Carr's 250 passing yards went to Devontae Adams, which sounds kind of like the 2021 Packers. But when you are the Raiders, this is what I thought they would start to look like, about mid-season after they beat the Texans. They had beaten the Broncos at home. And I thought that this is what they were going to start looking more like when they go to New Orleans and then they get shut out and they go to Jacksonville and they blow another lead. But now it's like, oh yeah, things are starting to progress. Things are starting to work. And it at least looks like the Raiders are a decent team that is another team that potentially you don't want to play in these last, 5-6 weeks of the season, whatever it is we got left.
The best thing that ever happened to them was losing to the Colts in Jeff Saturday's first game. They've been unbeatable since then. And the Colts, by the way, haven't won since beating the Raiders in Jeff Saturday's first game. One more for me. Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears. At a time when we were getting ready, and I had a snarkier possibility in mind, but I went with that. But, it's like Aaron Rodgers, sit down. Jordan Love, let him finish out the string. They're going into the bye week now. They're still alive in the NFC. Aaron Rodgers has said he wants to keep playing until they're mathematically eliminated. And then later in the week, he said he wants to keep playing no matter what. But he's willing to have the conversation. And a lot of it depends on next year. I mean, there was a lot of old school Aaron Rodgers mind games last week, but even with Justin Fields, and this was an impressive feat, 6 straight games with 50-plus rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, the longest single-season streak for the Bears since Gale Sayers in 1969. Wow. And he's the quarterback, for crying out loud. I mean, it felt like the Bears were going to win this game, but they just ran out of steam. No matter how good Justin Fields is, they don't have the horses around him to get it done. And the Packers got the win, and they've reversed that recent slide, and we'll see what they have. Now Aaron Rodgers has a chance for the thumb to heal, for the ribs to fully heal. He was wearing like half of a flak jacket, and he bids farewell to the place that he owns. It may be his last time ever playing at Soldier Field. Who knows what he's going to do next year, but he'll be better when they come out of this. They got 4 games left, and we'll see if they can get themselves into that 7 seed. Again, I've said this several times. Let me say it again. Never stops me. The fact that I've said something before never stops me from saying it again. The Vikings don't want the Packers coming into U.S. Bank Stadium as the 7th seed if the Vikings are the 2 seed. You never want a team from your own division, but you especially don't want Aaron Rodgers. And all those Packers fans are going to buy up tickets, whatever ticket they can get. They're going to be there, and it's going to be loud, louder than it would otherwise be for a team coming into Minnesota. But we've seen it before. When the Packers fans get in there, you don't want that in the playoffs if you're the Vikings, and the Packers are not dead yet.
No, they're not dead yet. And Aaron Rodgers can still do Aaron Rodgers things. How about Christian Watson too, man? All the dude does is score touchdowns. He's been great in these last few weeks, and now he's really getting comfortable with Aaron Rodgers. So look, if they can keep on this track that they're on right now, sure, they could maybe make a little bit of noise. I don't necessarily anticipate it, but you can't count Aaron Rodgers out yet. You just can't. Just imagine
how good Christian Watson would have been if his quarterback had been dialed in through the offseason.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew you were going to do it. Yeah, you always do it.
Am I that predictable? I fear I've been typecast.
A little.
They've got the Rams on Monday night, December 19, which should be a win. Number 1, It's in Green Bay. Number 2, Matthew Stafford will not be back from injured reserve. Then it's Christmas Day at the Dolphins. Then the Vikings, New Year's Day in a 4:25 p.m. Eastern spot, and then they finish the season against the Detroit Lions. Maybe it comes down to Week 18, Lions-Packers. Winners in, losers out. I don't know that. See, the problem with those wild card spots, because the NFL and NBC always looks for that one game that you can put into the final spot of the final week of the season, which is win or go home, a playoff play-in game. And usually it's among the top two teams in the division where the second-place team has no chance of a wild card. But this could be a de facto playoff game, depending upon where everyone else is. But as you see the Giants start to fade, maybe between the Lions and the Packers, they can do it. We'll see. All right, let's take a break. We will now, at least when we return, we'll talk about the Sunday night game. So all you Cowboys fans have been waiting patiently for the Cowboys to get the praise they deserve after completely stomping the Colts. That will happen when PFT Live continues right after this. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.